Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Jay Jackson. I am back with another amazing superstar. This time, I've got, old faithful is what I'm going to say, Ella Rucker, because Ella's been around, and I've been watching and paying attention to a lot of the things that she's been doing over the last couple of years, some of the people that she's been working with. But she is just a phenomenal story. She's going to talk to you guys about some of her lowest challenges, stages in her life, the opportunities that she's been able to create for herself in terms of sharing her story to create different streams of income. There's beauty in an ugly start, which is one of my favorite pieces of hers, because there really is beauty, guys. We got to get out of our head, stop procrastinating, and just put it out there to the world, and then you fine tune it as you go. But without further ado, guys, Purpose Power Profits brings in none other than mastermind extraordinaire, power networker, just connector of all things resources for entrepreneurs. Welcome, Miss Ella Rucker. How you doing, Ella?
Thank you, Jay. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm super grateful to have you on this. We have tried to work on some projects in the past, but I'm really excited about this one. I think we're in a really, really good space to really be able to help some people in their lives and their businesses and continue to grow our businesses and our brands so we can continue to have a larger impact. So thank you. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful to be here.
Good. So real quick, man, just, I gave them this is Ella. So I want you to give them the more, formal, polished, this is who Ella Rucker is, and this is what makes me an expert.
Okay, well, I don't know how polished this is going to be because I just tell it as it happens. About 18 years ago, I moved to New York City to be a writer, but I needed to eat. So I became I did telecommunications, and I was working in telecommunications when the bottom fell out in 2008, and I got laid off from my job. So during that layoff, I ended up pregnant, and I had the baby, of course, and ended up on welfare because I put out my savings, my retirement, my 401k. I had a bunch of money, and this kid took all my money, right? So, mommy was doing a little extra too, but, right. I don't blame it on her. And so during that time, I was at home, doing what they tell you to do when you're on unemployment. And I saw this blogger, and she just, blew my mind. She was natural. She was a mom. She was just over the top. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I could, help her in her business. And after she told me no, like 5 times, I convinced her. I said, I just need this gap filled on my resume. Because, they have these gaps on your resume, and it kind of stifles you. So I convinced her to work with her. She paid me a little bit of money, a very little bit of money. And I'm not saying it to I told her if I had any money, I would have paid her for the opportunity. That's how good the opportunity was, right? So I'm not shedding the money at all, but I want to make a point that, by the time I left that position, I was making 10 times what I was making when we started. And that's because of the value I added to that particular person, position, and platform. So after that, I dabbled in my own blog talk radio show. I would write my own articles, and at some point, I was up one night going through Oprah Winfrey stuff, and I stumbled upon this guy, Paul C. Brunson, who wrote an article. I still couldn't tell you what the article was about, whether it was relationships or business or what. And I wrote him an email in the middle of the night, and I said, hi, I don't know what your status is, but I think you're gorgeous. I'm not ready to date. I'm not ready to date right now, but just the fact that I think you're gorgeous means I might be ready to date, right?
Right.
And at the end, I said, I'm looking forward to a phenomenal 2013, whatever, and your article must have, spawned some thought in my head, and I wanted to reach out to you. So that Super Bowl Sunday, I get a reply back, and I'm like, he's like, oh, good luck on everything, sis, or something like that. And I'm like, wow, you're working on a Super Bowl Sunday. That to me, that was sacrilege back in those days. Now, not so much.
Right.
And so 2013, he said, keep me informed. Maybe he said that, I don't even know. But during that year, what I would do, I actually had him on my blog talk radio show. And I would send him little pieces of information, like, oh, I saw you on this particular podcast. I thought that you should do this. I saw this particular article. I think you should build that. I sent him maybe 10 pieces of advice over that year, and he used none of them. But one time I saw something on his page, and I said, if you need somebody to edit your stuff, let me know, because I can, give it a good glance real quick, because that's what I do. And one time, one of his writers for his podcast was away. He needed me to transcribe the podcast or, do whatever. And I didn't transcribe it. I wrote an article about it. I did something kind of different. And then within a week, he called me to become his partner in his business. And we've been rocking ever since. So, and not only is he, Paul C. Brunson, if you don't know, he happens to be a millionaire who was mentored by billionaires. So I'm like on the receiving end of billionaire information, just because years ago I got laid off and I started a blog and I became, a little bit more confident in my value to other people and just giving. So that's how I got to be on this show.
It's amazing, man, how to be able to, to watch the journey, to watch his growth, to watch the growth of everybody that's associated with him. I mean, he does. It seems as if everything he touches, it's magnified, it blows up. That's why I'm super grateful to have him on. By my, I guess, admiration of him and his platform, I was introduced to you. And so it all just works out. And so, guys, I really want you guys to really understand a lot of what Ella, made points on, which is always add value, always add something that can help other people move further ahead in their journey. I also heard her talk about being persistent. Don't give up just because you're told no 1, 2, 3, 5 times. It doesn't matter. You have to keep pressing forward. And then when your opportunity comes, you have to be ready to take it and grab it by the horns so that you can rock and roll. So I want to make sure you guys caught all of those points. So, Ella, and all of the work that you've done, whether it's with Paul or other millionaires and different people that you have been associated with in your network, what would you say are some of, I guess, the key characteristics of serious entrepreneurs that we should all focus on and in order for us to get to the next level?
Well, I'll tell you one of the biggest things that most people don't understand. I'll give you 3. 1, they worry, just like we worry. Is it going to be successful? Am I adding enough value? Are there the right people on my platform? Can my kids eat? We all worry about those things. And you think because they're famous and they have hundreds of thousands of followers that they can instantly, generate sales. It's not like that, because they have to not only keep their value of that program together, they also have to keep their brand, intact. They can't just throw something on the wall and make people buy it. They have to continue to give a high level. Another thing I've learned from working with millionaires is that they're constantly learning. They're never content with just being who they are. Whether it's something simple like Facebook, some people just don't know Facebook, or they're not tech savvy, or they don't even want to be on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or, any of the platforms. But they take the time out to learn those kinds of things, learn how to invest, learn how to, even make a web page. Those things don't always come easy. That's not their ministry, but they'll take time out to learn that. And they're not always outsourcing that to other people. They're in there doing the work, okay? And the third thing I would say I learned about working with millionaires is they will make you feel like you belong. They are never going to talk down to you. They're never going to act like your ideas aren't worth something. We always are afraid to give people our ideas. And because we're like, Dennis Kimbrough doesn't care what my idea is. Dennis Kimbrough cares a lot about your idea, because Dennis Kimbrough knows that the money comes from the idea, then the execution, then the then the success. So never be afraid to tell somebody your idea. I mean, there are some jerks in this world, but you'll soon weed those people out. And the people who truly care about making an impact in the world don't care about your idea, because they know that they're going to have another idea, or that they can invest in your idea and help them, increase their profits in their platform.
Awesome. And so, you talk about the different conversations at the altitude you're having these conversations at. I'm pretty, confident, just because of my experience with talking to people at that level, and even higher. You have the opportunity to kind of be a sponge and learn some of their different, tactics and tools that they use. And I know one of them that you are just a creator of this particular service yourself is masterminds. What's the significance and the added value of people participating in a mastermind group?
Okay, so there's a quote, and I'm not going to get the person's right. His name is Ken something. And we use this quote for the, the launch of our mastermind, but one of us is as smart as all of us, or something like that. I'm really butchering that. Trust me, I'm a lot more eloquent if I get a chance to Google stuff, right?
Right. We all are. We all are. Don't feel bad.
Right. But the construct of a mastermind puts you in the room with people who think about your business differently, and it's strategic differences. One of my goals in life, really, is to have an island like Richard Branson, where you just come and you just start thinking, because they don't do anything with, they're jet skiing, they're playing, they're doing all this kind of stuff, but they know that the ideas will come, the conversations will come. A lot of times we as struggling entrepreneurs, we're chasing the money. And when that happens, you aren't free to think about all the other possibilities. So in a mastermind, what happens is theoretically, you have these conversations that are structured, but with people who, when they let their mind go, it goes to, how do I do things bigger? So that's what a mastermind is. And just to your point, we had over 70 masterminds going at one time. And that's a lot of masterminds to go at one time. But I learned so much from all those people, just what kind of business, like, you don't even know what kind of businesses are out there until you get into a mastermind, into a room with 10 other people, and just realize that, it's not just t-shirts, it's not just mugs, it's, healthcare, it's legal, it's all kinds of stuff. So once you get in those rooms, you can expand how your business serves other people as well.
So, and I want to go a little bit deeper on masterminds, because I know there are a lot of people out there who want to develop their own mastermind groups and programs. What are some of the things that you can say, hey, focus on this, or this is how you do this piece to build a solid mastermind program?
Okay, well, as far as curating the people in the group, I think diversity is key. They should kind of be like, we had, like I said, we had a mastermind with 70 people, and we broke it down into, like, I have an idea, I'm starting my business, I'm making this much money, I'm making this much more money. What level were you on? But not necessarily, everybody in healthcare go here. It was, I have an idea, so how do we expand on that idea? I'm making this much money, do I need investors now? So, get diverse people in the room, but kind of get on the same level, if that makes sense, okay? Right. Another thing about masterminds is be serious about it. Don't go into a mastermind waiting for somebody to give you all kinds of ideas. Realize that they're looking to you to help them with their business, and be serious about helping them with their business. And a third thing I would say about masterminds is, look, even, like I said, Richard Branson still hosts masterminds, and the man got his own island. He got his own island, he still hosts masterminds. He still sees the value in it, and don't ever think that because somebody's taking your money for a mastermind and that you have to invest into a mastermind, that the reason that they're taking the money is just to make themselves rich, because they put a lot into that mastermind. And if I right now, I'm the community manager for 4 masterminds, and we put a lot into that mastermind, trying to come up with ideas. It's like, if you want to break it down to the basics, it's more work that I put into raising my child, because, you have to really hold people's hands and say, it's going to be okay. Depending on the level of the mastermind, it's going to be okay. You can do this. This is the next step. Oh, that was kind of hard, but did you make it? Some people don't come out of the mastermind as successful as they came in. Their idea doesn't make it. So you have to be, willing to, you have to be willing to be compassionate and, really understand that it's a journey, and it's not always going to come out as 100% success. That's important too.
Awesome. So real quick, I'm going to get you up out of here, but I want to ask you one final question, and pause if you have to think about it, but I don't think you will. But the question is, why should the viewers actually attend the DC stop of Purpose Power Profits?
Well, first of all, on the dais will be Ella Rucker, all right? And I'm all kinds of energy, right? I've gone from writing to, podcasting to videos. I've done a lot of different things, and everybody else on that dais has done the same thing. But more so, it's because it's a curated event with you in mind. Not people don't just throw these things up on the wall. It takes a lot of effort. It's not a party. It's a planned event. Like I told you, we're launching something soon. We launched it last weekend. Let me tell you something. No sleepless nights.
Yes.
You know, and and the last thing anybody wants to do is have somebody come to their event and say it was a dud. So the event is curated just for you. And if you see any value in doing it, make the investment, because like I said, Richard Branson has his own island. He invested in that island so his friends could come. I went to a conference one time where there's a lady who makes six figures on her speaking gigs, and she's still spending $50,000 to go to a mastermind. I mean, that's crazy. You know, you are making six figures every time you hit a stage, but yet you still are traveling and making masterminds. Read about almost any of the successful people in your mentor in your head catalog, and you'll see that they use masterminds or find some value in masterminds. So it's important to go to the stop, to go to the DC stop, especially because I'll be there, and I might even have a surprise for one or two or all of you.
Surprises, bonuses. It's always good to get bonuses. Yeah. Look, guys, as she said, the ideas come through the people in your mastermind. It's that collective group of people who, you know, it's hard to make an illustration without giving you a true image, but I'm going to do my best. So when all of the minds come together, it really creates a synergy where you really tap into the one big higher mind, so to speak, God, whatever you want to call it. And that's where truly all the creativity, all the ideas, all the inspiration, motivation, whatever you need to help you get your business from where you are to where you want to be, that's what a mastermind does. That's what we'll be doing at the DC stop of Purpose Power Profits. I promise you, you don't want to miss it. There are going to be some high-level conversations, but we're also going to make sure you get the how-to steps, some practical steps for you and your business to go to new heights. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Ella.
Thank you for having me, Jay.
Thank you, thank you. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of months in DC.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.